Paul does not want any of the members to opt out of the body because they feel that the role that they have been given is inadequate or inferior. And we should be careful not to belittle the gift or role that the Lord has given us in the body. Now, today we'll discover the reason why in the second and third pictures that Paul gives about the members of the body. So let's read from 1 Corinthians chapter 12 and verses 17 to 22. If the whole body were an eye, where were the hearing? If the whole were hearing, where were the smelling? But now hath God set the members, every one of them, in the body as it hath pleased him. And if they were all one member, where were the body? But now are they many members, yet but one body. And the eye cannot say unto the hand, I have no need of thee, nor again the head to the feet, I have no need of you. Nay, much more those members of the body which seem to be more feeble are necessary. A number of years ago, I came across a children's storybook with the unusual title of Monsters, Inc. Now, it might actually be a children's cartoon as well, but I only read the book. Among the various monsters in the book, there was one that particularly caught my eye. It was basically a huge eye, although it did have a mouth and stick feet and arms. When I read this passage, I think of that character. So in Paul's second illustration, the ear of verse 16 seems to have wanted to be the eye. Perhaps the ear thought that the eye was much more important than it was. But if its wish was granted, what would happen to the function of the ear? If the whole body were an eye, where were the hearing? Paul writes in verse 17. We need to learn that any part of the body is not all of the body. No member of the body should act as if it was all there was to the body with a sense of self-importance. Each part has its function, but it cannot supply the other functions. Paul goes on to say, if they, i.e. the members of the body, were all one member, where were the body? Verse 19. Without this diversity, there would be no body, but simply a body part, like that creature in Monsters, Inc. It would be a monstrosity incapable of useful operation. Now, the reason why we ought not to belittle our role on the one hand or exaggerate our importance on the other is God hath set the members, every one of them, in the body as it hath pleased him, verse 18. Notice that it is every one of them. He's writing about all the gifts without exception. Secondly, Paul emphasizes that God has set all of them in the body to make it a body, and so that they will fulfill a role and function for the body. When he writes that God has set the members, verse 18, he means that God has arranged them purposefully. They have not been placed randomly. Then thirdly, they have been arranged as it hath pleased him, in verse 18. That is, as he knows best. Now, do we seriously think that we know better than God what our role should be in the body? Now, in verse 21, we learn that each part of the body needs every other part of the body. The eye cannot say unto the hand, I have no need of thee, verse 21. We cannot be self-sufficient. The other parts of the body supply me with something that I need, but cannot provide myself. A crucial part of being in the body is that there is a mutual dependence and sharing of basic needs. Paul emphasizes this by writing, those members of the body which seem to be more feeble are necessary, verse 22. Parts of the body that seem to be minor or of little function are there for a purpose which benefits the rest of the body. You and I have something to contribute for the benefit of the other parts of the body in order to help them to carry out their function. We need each other. Let's not forget that.